Picture this. A nation gripped by turmoil, where a brave leader hides in plain sight, boldly challenging a regime she deems illegitimate. That's the gripping reality in Venezuela today, as Nobel Peace Prize winner María Corina Machado speaks out from the shadows, painting a stark picture of chaos under President Nicolás Maduro. But here's where it gets controversial. Her call for regime change and alliances with powerful figures like US President Trump could spark fierce debates about foreign intervention. Stick around, because we're about to unpack this story in a way that's easy to follow, even if you're just getting acquainted with Venezuela's complex political landscape. María Corina Machado, the opposition leader who recently captured global attention by winning the Nobel Peace Prize, recently shared her unfiltered views in a chat with NPR's Weekend Edition Sunday. While dodging the threats from Maduro's government deep within Venezuela's borders, she passionately described her homeland as descending into utter disarray. This far-right politician didn't mince words. She labelled Maduro an unauthorized tyrant who muscled his way into a third presidential term, despite widespread proof that his team tampered with the election results. For beginners wondering about the basics, think of it like a sports game where the officials are caught cheating, but the crowd knows the truth. I need to make this crystal clear, Machado emphasized in her discussion with host Aisha Rasco. The Venezuelan citizens already demanded a shift in leadership on July 28, 2024, she insisted, pointing to the hotly debated presidential race from last year. The government's spin is that kicking out Maduro would unleash mayhem on Venezuela. That's completely untrue, she countered. Right now, we're already drowning in deep, all-encompassing disorder. And this is the part most people miss. Machado, who was blocked from entering the race herself, threw her support behind candidate Edmundo González in an effort to guide Venezuela through its tangled web of political upheaval and financial meltdown. This crisis has been so severe that over a fifth of the population has been driven to escape the country, seeking refuge elsewhere, a migration wave that's one of the largest in modern history, as noted by agencies like the UN. Machado's criticism isn't new. She's been one of the toughest voices against the ruling United Socialist Party of Venezuela, or PSUV, ever since it rose to power in the late 1990s. As a former member of the Venezuelan National Assembly, she's faced relentless attacks, shootings, legal harassment from prosecutors, bans from political runs, and now a life in concealment under Maduro, who took over after PSUV founder Hugo Chavez in 2013. Our victory in the election was overwhelming, backed by more than 85% of the original vote tallies, she declared. The entire globe is aware of this, and even Maduro's own supporters realize he was beaten. Her claims resonate internationally. Several nations in Latin America, along with the United States, concur that Maduro finagled the voting process to cling to control. Venezuela has become a hotspot for corruption, economic ruin, and suppression of free expression under his watch. To give a clearer example for those unfamiliar, imagine a once thriving economy crumbling like a house of cards, with inflation skyrocketing and basic goods becoming scarce, forcing families to flee across borders. The situation has escalated to the point where the Trump administration has leveled serious accusations against Maduro, claiming he's at the helm of a drug trafficking syndicate. They've even authorized strikes on vessels suspected of hauling narcotics. The US State Department has placed a bounty of up to $50 million on information leading to his capture. Machado aligned herself with these assertions, holding Maduro accountable for those boat attacks and the wider tensions straining Venezuela's neighbors. His cartel is deliberately sowing instability across the region and eroding trust in US institutions, because they've transformed Venezuela into a sanctuary for America's adversaries, like Iran, China, Russia, Hezbollah, and Hamas, she explained. This is an aggression he's initiated against us. But here's where it gets controversial again. Machado frames this as a war declared by Maduro, potentially shifting the narrative from internal politics to global confrontations. Does this justify outside involvement, or is it an overreach? When probed about endorsing a potential US military incursion to overthrow Maduro, Machado avoided predicting Trump's moves, but hailed him as a crucial partner in confronting the danger Maduro embodies. True peace isn't possible without liberty, and liberty requires resilience, she remarked. When dealing with a criminal network that's deployed brutality and squandered the nation's wealth on harming civilians, those suffering in jails, enduring torture, persecution and death, we must intervene to protect lives. It's time to end the era of getting away with it. Adding another layer, Machado publicly honored Trump with her Nobel Prize, expressing gratitude for what she sees as his efforts to resolve conflicts worldwide. When asked if this was a ploy to rally his support against Maduro, she replied, "I dedicated it to the Venezuelan people and President Trump because it felt right. It's deserved, not just for his recent work ending long-standing disputes globally, but for his current focus on the Americas," she added, hoping Maduro's exit could inspire similar changes in oppressive governments in Cuba and Nicaragua. In wrapping this up, Venezuela's story is a potent mix of courage, crisis, and international intrigue. But what do you think? Should global powers like the US step in to remove leaders like Maduro? Or does that risk setting dangerous precedents? Is Machado's alliance with Trump a smart strategy for democracy or a risky gamble? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with her views or see things differently? Let's keep the conversation going.